Hello. In this session, we're going to focus on the motion of pulling, specifically pulling so that your posture is most supportive for the action of pulling, which means that things like sitting on the floor with even a yoga block are not optimal for your spinal posture to be as vertical as it can and to pull effectively and efficiently. Because most pulling is done when you're at home with usually sitting on a block or the floor with the band around your feet. It's usually done like this, and that is okay, but you're not as tall as you could be, and therefore you're not pulling with the full efficiency as you would be if your spine was more vertical center tall. Sitting, you should have your hip bones above your kneecaps quite a bit so that your lower back has free range of motion. And your lower back having its small arch like your neck does is really integral to your posture. So we're going to focus on starting laying on the floor. I'm using a yoga block to support my head. You do what works best for you. I also have a balloon here. If you don't have something to push with like a balloon, you could slide a paper plate on the floor. You can put something on the paper plate, something light like a piece of foam or anything that you have, and just practice sliding here. Now, ideally, you're in a long line from your hip to your rib to your shoulder to your ear, and a small arch to your lower back. Put your top side wrist palm on the prop du jour. All that you do is as you bend the elbow in, you're pulling that shoulder blade back on the top side towards the spine behind you, and then bring it forward. And you can really feel that here. A gentle pressure down on the balloon, not a lot, and really focus on pulling the elbow behind you as much as you can, and really draw that shoulder blade behind your shoulder back towards your spine, and then release. You can feel how that shoulder blade and arm need to move together to really pull and feel your upper middle back fire up there. And again, two more. Easy. Pull it back strongly. And then return. One more time. Again, pull that shoulder blade back strongly. Really great job. You can feel how it would be different if you pick the prop up or don't use any prop and pull it back here. It's not quite the same because you're going to feel that your arm, your shoulder muscle has to work a lot more just to lift your arm bone. So something supporting your arm is easier to feel your shoulder blade moving than when you have to lift something up against gravity specifically. That's a concept we'll go to a little bit later on in this video. Other side, you can always hit pause. Do what works best for you. Again, your spine is nice and long. Put your arm forward on the prop du jour. All that you do, it's at your wrist. You just draw the elbow and shoulder blade specifically back behind you towards your spine without twisting or rotating. And then return it forward. Again, put a little pressure down on that balloon to give you support. Pull the elbow and shoulder blade back behind you strongly forward. Keep your eyes looking forward. Here, your spine is nice and long, and you're in a really great position to feel the shoulder blade glide smoothly, too, so it has a full range of motion. Easy. When your back is rounded, it's in a different position than when your back is long. Easy. Not saying it's better or worse, just in terms of pulling, it's easier for your body to work when your spine is nice and long and not rounding. Easy. Great job. And again, same thing here. You can pick the balloon up or whatever prop or not. As you pull the shoulder back, you're still going to feel the shoulder blade move, but you can also feel more of your shoulder. And that's fine. It's just a different feeling because you're working against gravity here to move the arm, whereas before, the balloon was supporting your arm. You weren't working as much towards gravity. So when your arm is supported, you can feel how you can access your body-mind awareness of your shoulder blade moving a lot more than, say, when you are not supporting. You have to resist gravity and move your shoulder blade together. Great. See, it's not so complicated. Now, what does that mean? That means in terms of pulling, getting your spine nice and tall, it's best if you can have something that you're pulling that is supporting your arms, right? Here, the band is helping me lift my arm. If you just let go of one hand, you can feel how gravity pulls the arm down directly. So when the band's above you, it's easier to mobilize your shoulder blades and to feel them move specifically. It's more supportive because the band is helping you lift your arms to resist gravity. You don't have to use much of your shoulder to lift the arms up in the air. Sitting up nice and tall. If you can't sit like this, find a place where you can sit, where your hip bone's above your knee, so your lower back has a natural arch like the back of your neck. And all we're going to do, we're just going to pull one arm back behind you strongly, draw that shoulder blade back very slowly like we practiced, and return. Then do the other arm. Pull the elbow and shoulder blade back, growing nice and tall, and return. As you pull the elbow and shoulder blade back, try not to round your spine and let the top of the shoulder come forward. As you pull back, the head of that shoulder should go back with the shoulder blade, and then return. It should not roll forward. It needs to go back as the shoulder blade goes back. So the elbow, shoulder, top of the shoulder, and shoulder blade all glide back towards the back of your spine. You might find that rotating your palm up is a bit easier to feel that. And then return. Try not to look down. Grow tall and strong. Try not to lean forward or back. Great job here. And you can feel how those shoulder blades are going to move and really help your posture gain strength and integrity and awareness. Breathe. That's why it's helpful to sit tall, to focus on feeling your shoulder blades moving and accessing what that awareness is. You can add more challenge over time, but I find that people really struggle with this concept of pulling something and drawing the shoulder blade back and having good posture. They usually get part of it, or an elbow pull or something like that. It is not quite the pulling motion that's often the goal and the most supportive thing for you. You can also try both arms together at the same time, pulling shoulder blades back together, and then return. Again, easy, pulling forward. Great job. Control. Try not to lean forward or back or shrink. 3. So here, both shoulder blades are moving back, both elbows go behind you, and both top of the shoulders go back as well. So everything goes back and around behind you. And then we're going to pull it and stay back there. Now one shoulder blade can stay as the other arm goes forward and pull it all the way back. And then you can switch sides. That shoulder blade can stay with the elbow behind you and then pull the other one back. So here, the focus is on keeping the one scapula and elbow really behind you as the other one goes forward and then return. Try not to twist, shrink. Easy, stay nice. Now try not to shrink. I didn't mean to say order you to shrink. Grow tall. Try not to let your focus lift up, even though the attachment may be higher than your eye line. Your eye line is still directly forward because that affects your posture. Again, you don't want to be overarching your neck here when you're focusing on just a nice, tall place to be that's good for your support. Both arms can go forward. You can pull one arm by itself, and then both arms can move as one goes forward and one goes back. Here, trying not to twist against this motion. Nice and tall through your whole spine. Focus on pulling the elbow and shoulder blade and top of your shoulder back. Pulling is a really great, healthy motion, but it's often neglected or done with a bit of rounded posture that makes it not quite efficient and effective on your entire shoulder girdle. Because you can feel as you round your spine here, it's hard to get the top of that shoulder specifically to go back. You can feel your shoulder blade and scapula glide back some, but the top of the shoulder is not going to go back as much as it can as if you have a nice vertical or a nice tall posture. Easy. I'm not talking about overarching either, just nice and tall, looking forward. One arm and then the other one. Easy, breathe. Kind of like you're milking a dairy cow. Not that I know what that's like. Easy. That's right. And you can pull both arms. Easy, breathe. And then both arms forward. Again, pull both arms nice and tall. Forward. Great job there. And return. Again, pull both arms. Shoulder blade draws back behind you. Easy. Again, pull both arms. 2. Really great job. Again, pull both arms. Really great job. Now, you can use any attachment that's safe that works for you. At the top of the door, they make little hangers for elastic bands that are really inexpensive and easy to find, right? And you can try it. You can also put it at the bottom of a door. You can stand if you want to. And feel how the band is not holding your arms up now. So now, as you pull back, it's harder to focus on just the shoulder blade, elbow, and top of your shoulder going back, because your whole shoulder has to work now to lift your arms and pull the weight. It's not wrong, better, or worse. It's just more intense in terms of making your body be aware of what the mechanics of pulling are for you. Easy. Again, oftentimes rotating your palms up is more assistive to pull things toward you. There's nothing wrong with your palms facing down. It just, in terms of general population, people have an easier time with rotating the palms up to help them pull back easy. And you can feel how this also targets a different part of the shoulder blade moving. You might feel more the top of your shoulder blade or where your neck is, because that's the part of your body that's trying to lift your arms as well. The top of your shoulder has to work a lot more than, let's say, the bottom of your shoulder, just because of where the resistance is coming from here. And it feels really good to strengthen your pulling capacity. It's quite nice to feel that your shoulder blades can support not only your arms and your whatever you might be carrying, but also your spine as well. The two are integral. I can't say the word right now. The two are necessary to work in harmony together. So let's say you have a hard time laying on your stomach on the floor, even with a pillow. It's just not your cup of tea, right? This just does not feel good to you. Well, here is one thing you can do for yourself that doesn't involve moving your spine, because that could be, again, difficult for a lot of people. They can just focus on strengthening the upper middle back and also your shoulder girdle so you can move easier and have more joy in your life. I hope you enjoyed that. My name is Eric. This is Nucleus Strength. I look forward to getting stronger with you in the future. Yours in good health. Take care.